Hey, good people, welcome to Russ Can't Fly. Oh no! You think you may have busted Class Delta, Charlie, or Bravo airspace. What do? We're gonna get to that right now. Cue the intro. So I want to give a special subscriber shout out to Bravo 1970 Tango or B1970T for this suggestion. This video came as a suggestion from that subscriber, and I really appreciate it. You subscribers are awesome, and this is the reason why I do what I do. You guys help me with video ideas and all kinds of things. But let's get to this video, and this is a corollary to the violation video that I made, and that's what gave rise to this. So, you think you may have busted Class Bravo airspace. What do you do? Now, last time I talked about the AOPA and the advocacy that they can give you, but you also have another tool that you can use in the event that you run into a situation where you may have had some sort of violation. Let's talk about that really quickly. Okay, so let's say you're flying around and you think, oh, you've used your GPS and you wanted to use it in order to skirt a Class Bravo airspace. But then you get home and you realize, wait, when you look at the breadcrumb line, it looks like it's close enough where, oh, it's dicey. Did you go in? Did you go out? And of course, because you weren't flying and using that tower's frequency, you didn't hear them call you, so you don't know. But you're wondering, maybe I did. Well, here's how you can give yourself cover. There is something called the Aviation Safety Reporting System, or the ASRS system. And you can file something called a NASA report. Yes, that NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, that federal agency. You can file a report with them. Now, what exactly is a NASA report? And I'm going to read this to you because I want you to understand how important this is, how this works, and why you should do this if you think you may have violated, and whatever it is, airspace or some other violation. You want to get ahead of that. So let's talk about what this NASA report is all about. Now, I'm going to do some reading here because I want to make sure that I get this right. So this program was started in 1975 between a joint agreement between the FAA and NASA. What happened is there was a accident that happened that was known to the FAA but was not known to pilots. So it was agreed that NASA, as an impartial third party, would collect and analyze aviation safety reports and would provide that data to the FAA or other appropriate authorities so that circumstances that might compromise aviation safety may be remedied. NASA would share the information, but not the source of the information, and that's what's key. Once the report is received and NASA enters the objective data into the system, the report and any personally identifying information is destroyed, preserving your anonymity. There are two very important exceptions that prevent NASA from keeping your information confidential. That is, if the report involves an accident or a criminal act. So if you crash, they're going to have to give that information, or if you do something illegal. Look, if you make a little special trip from the Bahamas, just saying. Okay, so here's one major requirement that I want you to understand. So let's go back to my hypothetical. You're flying, you're using your GPS, you're looking at the breadcrumbs, and you think you may have busted into Class Bravo. When you come back, after that flight, you've got 10 days to file that NASA report. And so you don't want to mess around. I would say immediately upon the suspected or alleged violation, it would be in your best interest to just go ahead and file the NASA report to give yourself cover. Now, If you have any questions about the NASA report or how to go about it, this is why being a member of the AOPA is so important, because you would be able to give them a call and one of the AOP attorneys would walk you through how to file your NASA report electronically. Again, time is of the essence. You want to get ahead of this and you want to make sure you file your report quickly. Again, you have 10 days from the time of the alleged violation. Now, I was looking this up myself just to make sure. You can and should file your NASA report through the electronic report submission, or the ERS system. And if you just Google NASA report or whatever, this system will come up and it will walk you through 4 steps to report electronically. That's the best way to do it. It's the fastest and the most efficient. And I don't think they allow you to file these reports through email. I think there's, maybe some Privacy Act or some things like that, because of like security features or whatever. So that would be something that you would do in order to file your report. You would go on the electronic report submission system and file your report. And again, in the event that you have some questions, you could reach out to the AOPA and they could walk you through the steps as well. So as I look at the aviation safety reporting system and the electronic report submission, the ERS, it looks pretty intuitive. And so if I can understand it, you can definitely understand it as well. Now, one other thing I want to talk about, and then we'll get done with this video because these Wednesday uploads are killing me, but this one was too important. And again, Bravo 1970 Tango, thank you for this suggestion because this is definitely important. But here's another aspect about NASA reports that I didn't think about and is just as important. Yes, this is going to give you cover in the event that something happens and you want to get ahead of it, and you want to be able to say, hey, listen, I filed a NASA report. If you say that to an AOPA lawyer or any other aviation attorney, they're going to love that you did that, trust me. But the system is also geared to kind of help all of us pilots understand what's going on in terms of other safety issues. So here's how this works. So I was talking to a very learned and scholarly and amazing pilot friend of mine, Victor Castro, and I was asking him a question I was having with Foreflight. One time when I was flying, I was coming out of deck and I was taking off. Of course, I was trimmed for VY, and I was, coming out. My VSI, or my vertical speed indicator, was indicating I was climbing at about 500 feet per minute. All was looking good. All of a sudden, the iPad, the Foreflight, started screaming at me, sync rate, sync rate, sync rate. Now, I have to confess, I didn't know exactly what sync rate was in the scheme of what Foreflight was talking about, especially since when I was looking at my instruments, everything looked copacetic. But I will say that I know what it is to sink. Sink means to come down. And I was worried about pancaking back down onto terra firma, as Victor would say. And so I was confused about what Foreflight was telling me. Why was I getting this sync rate if I was actually seeing, that I was climbing out at 500 feet per minute and that I was basically, I had the right speed. My speed was, VY, the altitude that I was flying, and I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But suffice it to say, one of the things that Victor said to me, and I thought was interesting, is sometimes, these electronic flight bags, Foreflight, Garmin Pilot, or whatever else you use, sometimes they do have issues, right? Sometimes it could be one of those things where GPS signals can be messed up. There can be changes in the Foreflight version, and that there's a compatibility between it and an Apple product or a Chrome product or whatever, type of tablet you use. And so one of the things that he suggested to me is that I file a NASA report for that. The reason being And, of course, he can, do some stuff down in the comments if I don't get this right. But there could be a thing where maybe I'm not the only one that is experiencing this particular issue in Foreflight. Maybe this is something that needs to be understood nationally as an issue in the app, or as it relates to how it communicates with the GPS satellites, or with how it's communicating with a particular product, Apple, you get the idea. So he suggested that I, think about filing a NASA report, because that would be one of those things where now there is a collection of data that shows that there may be an issue in Foreflight as it relates to certain areas or something like that, and it's giving false reporting in terms of sync rates and that kind of thing. And I thought, man, that's kind of interesting. So that's another reason to file a NASA report. And remember, this whole reporting system is for us aviation, enthusiasts and pilots. It's basically to give information, and then that way there's reports that come out in terms of, things to be aware of and safety issues and all that kind of stuff. And yes, I know people get, angry about, aeronautical directives. I think that's what they're called, or ADs and things like that. And you know what? It can be a pain, especially if you have something on your aircraft and there's an AD, there's an expensive thing that you have to do to retrofit your aircraft. That can suck because it comes out of nowhere. But just think, if that would be, if that AD is something that could save your life, based on the fact that there's all of this, reporting coming from pilots, then it makes sense, because now it's safe for us as pilots, and it's safe for all of those folks who are on the ground who have to deal with us being in the air and having to come down to the ground. So that's pretty much it. Really quick video. I just wanted to talk about NASA reports and the aviation reporting system. It's really a good thing if you think you have an issue, if there's any, potential violation. And it also is a big thing if you're experiencing something in your aircraft, or something is happening with your flight bag, or you notice something about a particular airport or tower, or something about winds or anything. The more information that we can provide, these systems, the better, and the safer it will be for all of us. So always think about, when you experience something, think about filing a NASA report, and definitely do it if there's something where you think you may have violated something, because it can definitely cover you and protect you in the event that, something comes up. All right. So with that, that's it. Quick video. Russ can fly. Hope this was helpful. Leave a comment down in the comments field if you have any questions or any other video ideas. And again, thank you, Bravo 1970 Tango, for this video idea. All right, Russ can fly. I'm out. Peace.